Yo, Elliott.
Yo, Elliott, I've been reflecting on this question for a week now. I'm not sure how to properly word it, but it has to do with balancing responsibilities as a husband. You said in one of your videos that you should not shield women from the consequences of their actions. Admittedly, I do this often. Not so much in a sense of fixing things that my wife messes up, but not giving her the opportunity to make a mistake that will likely lead to bad consequences. How do you reconcile these responsibilities of both protecting your wife from unnecessary harm and fostering her growth? Great question, and I'm going to sound condescending when I say this, but this is very much related to dealing with a child. I'm not saying that your wife is a child, but I face this often with my daughters. How do you protect someone as it is your responsibility to protect them, but not shelter them, right? And so there's a few ways to approach this. It depends on the kind of threat that she's approaching. If there's a threat to the dignity of your family, the integrity of your family, if there's a chance that she may be tempted to adultery, for example, then you got to step in and you got to tell her no. You got to say no. I'm not comfortable with that. You do not get my blessing. This is one of the ways that I describe it to my daughters. There are a lot of things I cannot do. Especially I have one daughter, she drives now. I don't know what she's going to do out there. I have no idea. But here's the thing. She knows my boundaries and she knows that which will not receive my blessing. And I say that because I bless my children. And you should bless your wife. You should bless your children and bless your wife. I think that's really important because that is the power of the father. So, we talk about the authority of the father being a means by which we create boundaries, right, in leadership. But don't forget, the real value in being a father is the blessing. Do you remember in the Bible when Jacob and Esau, the whole fight between the two of them? It was all about blessings, right? Who got the father's blessings? And the blessing of a father is determined by the integrity of the father. The value of your blessing is concomitant with your state of grace, your holiness in life, right? What is the value of a blessing of a man who is living in sin? But if you're an upright leader, if you're an upright husband and father, and you're doing the right thing in your own life, staying free from mortal sin, walking in a state of grace, then the power of your blessing is immense. Rather than approaching it as a yes or a no, approach it as this receives my blessing and this doesn't. Because in a lot of ways, you can't stop her from doing certain things. You can make your intentions known, you can make your boundaries known, but she's going to do whatever she wants. Even if she is your wife, even if she is your child. You say to, you tell the child, look, don't touch that, don't touch that, don't touch that. And you're doing it for their own good, and they touch it and they get burned. Well, I really can't hold your hand back, but I can let you know this is not getting my permission, and I'm making it very clear not to do. I don't really have much issue with my wife, by the grace of God. There's not much. And if I ever have to deal with her in this way, I do it the same way. But with my children, they do give me a hard time. They will ask me for something and I will say, I'm giving you my blessing, right? If it's a big thing, I'll say, yes, I'll give you my blessing. So the thing is with your wife, have those kind of conversations about why you have certain boundaries, be vulnerable, be honest, say, I'm concerned about this, right? And I know that it's probably not going to be your fault. You're probably not trying to make this happen, but I am concerned. And as your husband, it would be my fault if I allowed you to fall into this sin. What kind of a man would I be if I didn't speak up and say something? You got to talk to her like that. I have to speak to you about this. I have to share my concerns. I have to lay down in a resourceful way these boundaries and why. You got to speak logical, right? Speak the logic out, but withhold or deliver the heart, and that's the blessing. It's tough, dude, because the more you try to tell somebody that they can't do something, the more they want to do it. So you got to be careful with your language. Even me, it could seem like, oh, Elliott's an alpha male, and he got his kids and his wife are all, walking in line like they're in the military. No, that's not the case. I figure out ways to relay certain messages or lay certain laws down. And one of the things I say, they know what it means when I say, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. I wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't advise you to do that. I don't think you should do that. Right? I didn't say you can't do that. I didn't say don't do that. I said, I think that's a terrible idea. I mean, you're going to do whatever you want, but you do not have my blessing. because I aim to live with such integrity and I have right intentions for my family, when I pull out the blessing card, it plays the heartstrings and it's huge. And so I want to bring that back. That's a part of my rant right now is I want to bring that back, men. And this is who you can bless. Based on the natural law, your authority is over that which you own, your wife and your children. By the marital covenant and the contract, the bodily contracts, you own your wife's body and she owns your body too. It goes both ways. And then your children. I bless you. I bless you in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. I bless your activity. I want to bless you on your way. I send you with my blessing. And so it feels good. Wow, my dad's blessing me. But then just as powerful as it is to give, it's as powerful as it is to withhold. Listen, I don't think what you're doing is a good idea and you do not get my blessing. And so you're on your own when you do that. I think there's something primordial or something deep and existential that's associated with that, because it's like now you're stepping out from underneath my protection. Now you're choosing to step out from underneath my love. Not saying that I don't love you, but my love has boundaries. Because love, don't let the movies and the music confuse you and think that love is just like endless, free-flowing, infinite stuff. That's not true. Maybe God's love is, but my love is finite. I'm limited. Just by virtue of being a human, what I can give and receive is limited. It really is. My love is within these boundaries here. Now you step outside of that, it doesn't mean I don't love you, but you can't receive my love. You can't receive my blessing. If you go into the shade, you can't cry and wonder where the sunlight is. It's like, yo, bro, you're in the shade. You got to step out into the sun to receive the sun. And so if you want to step out from underneath my blessing, well, you're kind of on your own. I love you. I'll be here for you if you want to step back within the umbrella of my blessing. But you literally just walked away. And so whatever happens to you out there, it's not a matter of me saying, oh, I told you so. It's a matter of you, before you even took that action, acknowledging, I did step out from underneath my father or underneath my husband's blessing and his authority. So that's it. That's all. That's my opinion on that, dude. Done.
Yo, Elliott.